a little bit more about the power of the word. What I'd like to do now is to focus on a few words and about their implications. So here's one that you're very familiar with, and you've heard this being said many times: trying. I'm trying to do this, I'm trying to pass my exams, I'm trying to do this, I'm trying to do that. Within that word, what you have done is you have sown the seeds of failure. So if you are using the word trying, there's an implication there, and the implication is it's not going to succeed. So for example, as Dan just gave that excellent example, if someone says to you, try to be in by 11, or I'll try to get there on time, there's an implication you're not going to be able to do it. But if someone says to you, is it possible to be in by 11, or if I say to myself, it's possible I'll be there by 3, then that sets me up with the idea of it's a challenge that I'd like to rise to, I'd like to make that happen. It encourages me. And then there's a load of words which are all in the same category. The word should or shouldn't, must or mustn't, have to or have not to. And they all have something in common, which is the attempt to force. It's not about letting go and relaxing in divinity, it's all about trying to make something happen. So if I say to myself, I should be better at carpentry, that isn't actually going to help me be a better carpenter. But if I say to myself, I'd love to be a better carpenter, or I'm really happy with my carpentry skills now, and I know I can become even better, that's going to encourage me. And then there are the words always and never, to be used with great caution. So if you say to yourself, I always turn up late, you can see what a death sentence that is for yourself, because you're just encouraging yourself to turn up late. If you say, I'm never arrive on time for my exams, you can see what you're doing again. You're setting up a pattern whereby you're making it very difficult for yourself. Whereas if you say to yourself, I love to turn up on time, it's making you feel encouraged. Now, I'm going to supply you with 2 particular words, and I find these to be a gift. So this is more magic, if you like. And this is the magic of being able to right previous wrongs. So this is the way you can right a previous wrong. You can say, I used to be careless, or I used to be late for work, or I used to be shy, or I used to be someone who lacked confidence. Once you've had those words used to, what you're doing is you're making a distinction between the way you were and the way you are now. So if I say to myself, I used to be careless, that means I'm acknowledging that I'm much more careful than I used to be. So I'm actually righting those wrongs and giving myself a new possibility. What I suggest you do is I suggest you become incredibly conscious and aware of the words that come out of your own mouth. And then even more fun, start paying attention to the words that come out of other people's mouths. And listen for those telltale words, the alwayses and the never, and the should and the have to and the must. Just listen for those words and see what happens. There's an example I want to give you that happened to me last week. Last week I was in someone's house, friend's house, and he got a new toy which he was going to show us. It's a device to unpick locks. And he said, right, this is my kit for unpicking locks. Now I'm going to show you how to unpick this lock, and because I'm going to show you how to unpick this lock, it won't work. Do you see what he just did? He just made absolutely certain it wasn't going to work before he actually picked up his tools and started doing this. And I could tell he wasn't doing that deliberately. That was what I call an unconscious, ingrained pattern. If I was to ask him, he wouldn't even remember saying that, because that would be so automatic. So if you can start to become aware of the automatic words that you use, then what you can do is whenever they happen, you can just imagine you've got a blackboard and you've got a rub on. You can just erase that word, or you can have a pencil with a rub on, just erase it. So when I said the word, right, I'll try again at saying those sentences, I can just get my rubber, rub it out. No, I'll just do it. So when you start to become more aware about the words that come out of your mouth and come out of other people's mouths, that's going to teach you an enormous amount. And that'll be your clue, your golden key, as to where you can feel, this is really great, listen to the words I'm using, and then every now and again there'll be something that comes out and you can think, I can change that. Right, we've had a look at some of those words that can actually unintentionally hold us back, like should. Let's have a look at some of the other words that can really help us. Just imagine what it's like to use the word unstoppable, or the word passionate, or the word vibrant, or the word alive. Just imagine you're walking down the street and you look at the trees and you just notice the trees are looking really alive today. The colours are great. The trees are looking alive. I'm feeling alive. I'm feeling vibrant. I'm feeling passionate about what I want to do today, what I'm doing today. I'm enjoying the sensation of my feet touching the ground. I'm enjoying the feel of the wind on my face. Enjoyment. Pleasure. Now here's an interesting one. I've been with groups of people sometimes, and I will use the word pleasure. And you watch some people, there'll be an intake of breath and they'll move backwards. Ooh, pleasure? Ooh, what, us? Why not? Pleasure. Enjoyment. Satisfaction. Love. Yes, let's go back to that one, love. Rather than saying yes, I'll say yes, love. Thanks, love. And by doing that, I'm just tacking the word love on at the end of my sentences, which is just spreading love in such a simple, easy little way. So what other words are there that you could come up with that are helpful? How about the word inspiring? Now as you clean yourself, clean, clean, clean. I love you, I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you. Endlessly until it's an integral part of your subconscious. As you're doing that, what you're going to find is that as the negativity starts to really die down, what's going to start to come up is the inspiration. And I'm finding that starting to happen on a daily basis. Inspiration is a great word. It literally means to breathe in. And when we're breathing in air, oxygen, prana energy. So breathing in inspiration, it's great. So what other words could you come up with that make you feel really good? Because those are words you might want to start using a bit more in your thoughts and in your conversations with people. I like the word passionate, feeling passionate about something. And then there's a particular combination of words which an organisation called Landmark likes to use, and they say, come on, what is it that touches, moves and inspires you? If I'm touched by it, it means I feel it. If I'm moved by it, I'm really feeling it. If I'm inspired by it, I'm on fire with it. The idea of being on fire with a new idea, wanting to share this idea with all people all over the world. Yes, imagine that. Imagine you getting on YouTube yourself and sharing what inspires you with other people. Other people logging on, inspired by your words. Can you see what's going to happen? Can you see what's already happening? How about that?